Howdy there, folks. It's been a long few weeks for myself, and also in the last week or so, I've been really putting the head down and making a brand new website for EV Radio. Go over there and check it out if you already hadn't. And as a footnote, if you were registered before the big change, I couldn't migrate the user-based tables to the new one because that shit never works out for me, and I end up breaking the whole fucking website. So, if you will, please sign up again. And a very real benefit of signing up is that you don't have to see any ads on the website. What is this life, guys? And I ask not in any hope whatsoever that anyone can give me a satisfactory answer, and I really don't think there is one. What is this life? And I'm not asking in some broad existential sense. I think you're all up to date. I hope you would all be up to date with your existentialism. Sartre, Nietzsche, Martin Heidegger, etc., etc. So you might have insight into that question, but the question of today, this life here in 2016, what is it all about? I have due to my not fitting into the norm wherever I lived, really, in the countryside or in the city, have courted with the alternative, the people on the fringes, subculture, all sorts of different subcultures, but it seems the subculture that's predominating these days, the taking drugs and 24/7 party people kind of thing, and going vegan and living in communal situations and like being rogue, going off road, not getting married, not going down any of the traditional routes. And I saw very clearly what kind of people they were. They were kind of disturbed people. I'm disturbed, so I'm not casting any stones here. We're all kind of fucked up, but it's those people that deal with their fucked upness by being a fucking degenerate. Let's just call a spade a spade. They almost enhance their neurosis by being fucking degenerates. So if that's not a viable route to take, because it isn't really, either you get worn out by the drugs and the drinking if you are doing that at all, and you have to stop, or they kill you, or you lose your mind, you have to go into a mental institution, or you kill yourself. And that's happening a lot with these fringe sorts, kind of the post-punk, post-hippie generation. They're loose ends, they're genetic cul-de-sacs, and it's really kind of the face of Western society now. They're the norm, single people in single households, unless they're all piled together like bunnies. Rats lying on top of each other in communal situations, which, ultimately that doesn't work out because most people, they shouldn't be living with a bunch of people, so, they have conflicts and they end up, alone, and then dying alone, and that's where you get the suicide. That's where that happens from. Either that or your brain is just fried from drugs. That's the thing, loneliness and companionship. Like, how do you arrange yourself to, not be destitute and alone in this world? I don't think the official, the state endorsed avenues of life nowadays works either. Really, it's not working. We're in a world where we have to pay off either our parents or our grandparents' debt. That's great. That weight on top of basically this society has programmed you to be a individual, and the philosophy of romanticism has kind of kicked that up a few notches, and we have commitment problems and problems with compromise, things like this. And if you don't have those problems, then the person that you feel more attracted to in the world probably does have those fucking problems, or worse of all, both of you are fucking nutcases and you won't be able to figure it out. So, well, what is this, Corporations and states have everything tied up with red tape and all that, and if you get any position of esteem, you better shut your mouth about the way the world works and tell the masses lies. And if you don't, you go the way of JFK or any of the other hundreds of thousands of people who have been publicly or secretly snuffed out because they had some information or power, like all those microbiologists and homeopathists and that whole fucking avalanche of people who understand things about biology just dying suddenly in the past 15 years, that kind of thing. Why are we in the middle of this? It sucks, man. Sure, I'd love to either, if there wasn't a such thing as old age or anything, sure, I'd love to hang around and party and all the time, and I don't know, I'd probably have to make a business out of it, hosting parties or selling drugs. It sounds like a horrible lifestyle, actually. And I would also equally love to have a family situation. I'd like to build myself up more and have a space where I could create a family. Only that is fraught with so many dangers. And your kids, the kids that one raises, are likely to be very stupid because you won't be there. Because you're hard working to maintain the environment that you created to have them in the first place. You have to be out there pushing the wheel of the New World Order, making sure it comes together for them, while some asshole who's probably molesting your child is looking after them. And they're stupid because they don't have connection with their family or parents. They're emotionally dead. They probably have autism. Like, why do we have to be in the middle of this? It's horrific. We really need to actually put it as a priority in our personal lives. And I know it sucks, right? Oh, you have to do something about the external world. Well, you do. We have to make it a fucking priority in our lives that the world has to be centered around the life of the individual and not the life of a fucking corporation. International finance and all that malarkey. A society itself, the economy and the government and And the legal system, it has to be designed around the fact that we're all this little thing that just gets fired out of a uterus after having spent months in paradise, not knowing anything of the world. And this thing is basically just very, very, very incapable of taking care of itself. And those charged with taking care of it are 99.9999% of the time abusing that thing. And by the time it comes around that it can actually gain some knowledge of its environment and do things for itself, it's lied to by a society that wants it to do one thing or the other. So it has to be taken into consideration that that society and those parents are aware that, we need to be told the right things. We need to be shown the right social institutions that we can step into, or alternatives that we can step into. Not just fuck you out of my pussy and then, yeah, good luck. That attitude isn't fucking working anymore. It never did work, because now we find that people are just having to play the opportunistic thing that, okay, I'm bored into this class, in this place, at this time. This is my lot. This is what I've got. This is what, I've managed to do despite all my neurosis. And now I'm just going to look out for that particular job that I'm trained for years while I work McDonald's, and hopefully when I'm old and ugly and nobody wants me anymore, maybe I might be able to get a 1-bedroom bungalow on this salary. No, we all have hopes, we all have fears, and we all have a natural drive to love and connect and also give to others and our community. And then as we grow into maturity, we're increasingly aware that we're going to die one day and it will be over. But before that will be a period of incapacity and illness. And we need to find a place to settle when that happens. So why isn't the society putting those considerations, that human experience, at the forefront of its fucking priorities? The reason why that's not happening now, and it rarely ever did in the past, at least in the past few thousand years, is because somebody else is running the show. Human beings aren't running the show. And I'm not saying that to suggest that, we're run by lizards or something. We could be. Who knows? We could be run by space aliens who landed here over 10,000 years ago and have crafted the dialectic of history up until this point. Could be. But whatever is running us doesn't give a shit about the human experience, about the individual experience. And that shit needs to change. What's really kind of helped me in my current soul searching that I've been doing over the past few weeks, I have found my way onto Elaine de Botton's, oh my god, you dirty bastard of ass, go away, Elaine de Botton's YouTube channel, The School of Life. And I like him, even though he's, a Jew, and he has kind of slightly a Marxist lens every now and again. I like him because he is a philosopher that, well, he's a very good philosopher to start with, in that I'm not saying that I agree with all his opinions and thus he's a good philosopher, but rather he looks at people's ideas and just accepts them, and accepts them separately, and doesn't condemn X, Y, or Z philosopher because certain philosopher got one thing out of 10 things wrong. That's a good philosopher, someone who can take a philosopher on 3 different levels. So I want, if you guys will head over to that guy's channel, take that guy into account in that philosophical sense. Just kind of feel where he's coming from and what you can personally get out of it. Because another aspect of him that I quite like is that he, for one of many philosophers out there, actually wants to change the world to reflect his philosophical stances about existentialism, the personal experience and such. And I find myself agreeing with most of his propositions on how to practically change the world. On some of them, I don't agree. But that's the spice of life. We need to actually get talking about this. We need to argue about this. Not about which of the lesser of two evils. No, which is the lesser of two evils, and should we vote for them to make sure that the most evil didn't get in, and all this waffle that ultimately doesn't mean anything, is just distracting us from actually fucking changing the world. And I'm rambling on a little bit. I think I, made a fucking point here. I don't think I went off too much, did I? I don't know. Hey, look, I just had a thought. I thought I would express it. Fuck it, I've had this thought for nearly 25 years now, so it came out tonight. Check evrn.net. Check us out, our new look, our new functionality. We have a social network there that myself and the team are going to try and get active, because activity breeds activity. So come over, join the team, try to get this ball rolling with us, and tune in at 9 p.m. Irish Standard Time, that's 8 p.m. GMT, Wednesday for the anti-broadcast, and I'll catch you there.